Hey guys, welcome back to the Gitana. My name is Abby, and today we're going to do the weekly chakra healing video. And I'm sorry I didn't post another video last week because I usually try to do 2 or 3. I was kind of a little bit caught up, but we are going to do this week's. We have a really cool, the way we're starting Aries season is with a Libra full moon. And I'm kind of really excited about it for a couple of reasons. I feel like it's a good way to start, like cardinal sun, cardinal moon. That's going to give a lot of people the push to sort a lot of the gunk out. I already pulled the cards. I think I'm going to start doing it like that because I feel like the videos are a little bit more short, so it's like a little bit more palatable than me talking for like an hour. So yeah, so I pulled the cards already, and I could see how some of y'all didn't listen to me from last week, but we're gonna talk about it. But there's a lot of opportunities, but I can also see where the universe is like, well, you about to get the smoke anyway. So I'm gonna be using the Game of Thrones tarot deck that my sister got me for Christmas, because winter may be ending but Game of Thrones is coming. So I'm still like hyped that it's coming back, so we're gonna keep using the deck from now. So starting with the root chakra, our blockage is the 3 of Swords and the 5 of Cups in reverse. So, oh, by the way, yes, I do have the Akashic Records open right now. So some of you guys have been going through an emotional trauma. That could very well be in relationships. I see a lot of relationship energy in here, so definitely in relationships. But you have, like, you're kind of blocking yourself from actually processing it as emotional trauma. You're trying to really pretend like you're not, like it hurts, but you're not trying to accept that it's a trauma. Like you're not trying to accept that, like, if you got sexually assaulted or sexually harassed, that it was that. If you got like kind of just thrown away and just like kind of dismissed in a relationship, that it was such, and that this person, there was red flags all the whole time, and you didn't want to accept that they were there. There's certain aspects of the situation where, you know, if one of your friends was telling you what happened, you would be saying one thing, but then you're like, it's like a do as I say, not as I do type of thing. So you're like not trying to even look at how you've been mentally stabbing yourself by not trying to process what this is as a trauma. And this is the theme throughout the whole reading. It's just like a stubbornness, not trying to kind of stay thinking about it, but not staying processing it. So there's like an emotional baggage, but not understanding that you need to leave. So it's just kind of like this weird conflicting energy, because it's like you're in pain but you don't want to do anything about it. And this is why the universe this week is just like, yeah, well, fuck you, you were warned, and it's time to move. So you're about to get the smoke. So the best way to heal that this week, and it's funny because this is the cards that came out last week in our root chakra, and throughout the whole entire reading, it was just like, yep, the brakes are not on yet, the brakes are not on yet, it's not Aries season yet, still flow with the Pisces energy, etc, etc, etc. And now it's just like, first cut out right out of the bench is the Emperor, because Aries energy is coming hard this week. It's like, this is great that you've been glooming and that you've been in this state of just, no, I'm not trying to see the truth, I'm not trying to process it, all this nonsense. Aries energy is going to come in, especially with this Libra moon. Is going to be like, I'm going to need you to get this back together, because this Knight of Wands has it's kind of, it's like the rage might creep on you this week. Like you might get really upset out of the blue. You might take out your frustration on other people. I see a lot of people just getting, like, just lashing out this week because they won't know how to properly process the energy, because you're not trying to admit that you got smoked in the situation. And ultimately the reason why you got smoked is because it was a lesson. It was meant to be a lesson. We've been talking about this for a while, but a lot of you don't want to process things the easy way. You want to process things the hard way. And so the universe at this point is like, cool, so now instead of you being able to leave the situation and being 10 steps ahead of where you're supposed to be. Now you're just catching up with yourself. And that's what it's going to look like this week. This is a sense of just like, oh my God, I could be the emperor, but I'm still a freaking knight. Like, there's just like I can't believe I've been like giving this all my energy, giving this all my time. This is so frustrating. I was feeling so stuck. And now this is just this, when Aries season comes in, it just brings this energy of, okay, what's the new direction? You have to remember that astrologically, even though Capricorn starts the social year, it's Aries season that starts off the astrological year, the true year of how the lessons, how everything just aligns, the theme of the year, as you can say. So Pisces, we're literally inching in at the end of 2018-ish, kind of, because it's carrying all the things that we've gone through from last year, and we're ending it on whatever note that we've been trying to set. And this is just this year, some of you guys are really going through it, and for that, you could be one of these people that at the end of this year, you're gonna be like, oh my God, it sucks so bad. Like, I had such a bad, like, earlier the year with all this stuff. And I'm like, yeah, well, you had a bad earlier the year because you didn't want to process your shit. Like, it's like, at the end of the day, you have to take responsibility for who you are. That's the Emperor energy. Emperor energy is just like super aligned with your purpose. You have to kind of just be like on game, on call, like Aries mentality. And you're gonna see that switch when the fire comes back and everybody's just guns blazing, trying to get opportunities, trying to get, like, it's gonna be everywhere. Like, and this is why around this time you have a lot of people getting new jobs, getting different types of opportunities, new relationships, springtime, going into summertime. There's a lot of stuff that comes out. Some people end up breaking up with people because it's just like, hey, I'm free, I just want to have a good summer. All this, like, there's a new shift, there's a like ending beginning type of thing. It's just like, okay, it's like the new year, new me type thing. That's actually Aries energy, is not Capricorn energy. Capricorn energy is like, no, wait, let's reevaluate. Meanwhile, Aries energy, which is why they start the astrological year, is more like, okay, wait, what am I focusing on this year? What am I going to do? What's my goal? I need purpose. I need purpose. I need purpose. That is like the key the key word, the key phrase for this. I need purpose. You need purpose. And this week you're going to get pushed into purpose, even if you've been pushing away from it, because you need to stop. It's as simple as that. Now, for our sacral space, was blocking our sacral space, we got judgment and strengths. For some of you guys are really struggling to connect with your ancestors, because you have not been feeding them, you have not been working with them, you have been kind of struggling. There's a theme of death coming out that I've kind of noticed. There's a lot of baggage that's going on. A lot of it is generational trauma, but you're not addressing it. Some of you may not know how to do it. Some of you know about it but have not dabbled in it. Some of you are kind of just let it go on a back burner for some really weird reason, but for the majority of you, I see that just some of you are just not working with your ancestors, and it's kind of paying the price, because instead of them being strong and you being strong and them helping you be your best self and like protecting you and having that energetic barrier between the negativity and the bullshit and you just being good and okay and healthy, and at least good, and your family being sustained as well, because it's not just you just feeding your ancestors does not only feed you, it feeds collectively your family, and it's that extra layer of energetic protection that's important and why you need to work with your ancestors. But it's just like there's a lack of this type of spiritual work for some of you, so there's just a lack of strength. So spiritually, some of you are suffering because you're not connecting not only to yourself and not only to processing your own trauma, but also understanding that you have a responsibility to the spiritual realm to help and carry your ancestor legacy, army, however you want to call it, but just carry that, but not in a way that it's a weighted baggage. Like you taking care of your ancestors should never feel like it's a chore, like it's you're forced to do it, all this stuff. It's natural. You're doing it because that's family, that's you love them, and you're there for them, they're there for you. It's like it's blood, right? So there's a level of this that is just like, hey, you really need to connect, you really need to heal that aspect, because there's a lot of stuff that is just coming up. A lot of generational trauma is just coming up. It's just, it has been there for a long time, and at this point in time, it's time to kind of like analyze and be like, okay, I see you for what it is, and I need to address it, and it's time to address it in a spiritual level, not just in a complaining, mundane, everyday level, like, oh my god, my mom does this thing all the time, and it's really annoying because, oh, my aunt used to does that too, and everybody in my family does, and oh my god, everyone in my family has this, all of this stuff. Stop it. Stop it. Stop speaking those things to existence. Stop adding that fuel to the fire. There's levels of this where it's just like, y'all need to just stop feeding the same trauma, more of that, because you're just like, yeah, it runs in my family. You're part of the family, so eventually it's going to catch up to you. That's ultimately what you're saying. That's the spell that you're verbally putting out there and saying and speaking these things. So there's a level of bringing strength and removing the stubbornness in your sacred space, but a lot of it is coming from the generational trauma. You're going to see a lot of karma being dealt this week, especially for those who have illnesses running in their family. You're going to see that kind of come up. If you have some sort of appointment at the hospital or something like that, you're going to see that come up. And quite frankly, I mean, to the ones who didn't know how to do ancestor work, especially generational trauma work, okay, I can ultimately say, I mean, in many ways, it's kind of hard for me to be like, I don't feel bad for you, because obviously a lot of the information is not it's not common, and it's not something that we practice socially, collectively, in regards to like, if you do practice in spirituality, there's still certain levels that you end up reaching level by level. So it's just like, I can understand why some of you might not know. So it's like, yes, I feel sorry for you that you have to go through this, that you have to take on this trauma now, and that you have to suffer. And I hate using that word, because that suffering is a state of mind. I'm gonna say that again for people in the back. Suffering is a state of mind. A lot of things are a state of minds. All of the stuff that's going on in your life is just a state of mind, and you can ultimately change it with your mind. Your mind is like the most powerful tool that you have. But because even if you didn't know, you now have to carry this mantle and figure out what you want to do with it. You can either give into it and be in misery from it and let it traumatize you even more, or you can choose to heal and go through the process of doing that. So there is a very karmic week this week, looking at the cards, and then especially with this full moon in Libra. Libra is one of the most karmic signs, and I talked about that in my other video of the 3 most karmic signs in the zodiac. We talked about it. So there's a theme. Actually, there is a theme this week, especially because the moon is also going to be in the Scorpio right after Libra. So there's that. But there is a theme of karma going around, like Capricorn energies creeping into this reading. There's a lot of just like ancestor energy. There's a lot of just Saturn, Libra, Scorpio energy throughout this whole reading. So there is a need to kind of address these things. So for the best way to heal that, we have the 4 of Pentacles, the 8 of Swords, and then the 7 of Cups. So this is really saying to use this Pisces the energy properly. And what do I mean by that? Because the 7 of Cups can be very confusing energy, and in the healing it's like, wait, but 7 of Cups, what does that mean? Because that could like literally, what is it telling me to get lost? How do I explain? In the healing, when you have this much stubbornness going on, is asking you to think bigger, think higher, be more open. It's just a need to not restrict your mind and restrict your in the physical self, like restrict your body, like feel like you're constricted, feel like, and speaking things that you're like, oh, I can't do this anymore, I can't go out and I can't eat these, I can't, whatever it is that you're like, I can't. You need to watch this week, because those are debilitating factors that you're putting onto yourself. Those are crippling factors that you're putting onto yourself. So there's a need to remain open and not be so stubborn, be flexible. And that's kind of what the 7 of Cups is very flexible, especially emotionally, with the mind, is the ability to really look at all the cups and bring in manifest something from each of these cups. And this is pure Pisces energy when they're in their full blast, in their full power, trying to manifest their best freaking life. That's what it looks like. And it's kind of, this week is asking you, especially for your sacral space, to think bigger, to think wider, to look at your life as a spectrum of different things, not just, oh, this one thing is bad, is happening to me, my whole thing just crumbled down. No, think bigger. Dream a better world for yourself. This is a good time to do some scripting. Use the last inch of the manifestation Pisces energy to really dream up what you want your life to be. That's what the next couple of days should look like before you hit Aries. Because once you hit Aries season, it's literally gonna be like, all right, so what are we moving on? So if you didn't come up with something, and again, this is why Capricorn, this is why the year starts off for Capricorn socially for a reason, because Capricorn asked you this at the beginning of the year. So what do you want to do? What do you want to do this year? What are we working towards? What is the long-term goal? Okay, we have the goal now. What is the plan? How are we going to get there? And this is what Aries is going to ask you the whole season. It's going to be like, what do you want to do? So you have to think about it now. There's literally a contemplation period that should be happening within the next couple of days. And with the moon in Virgo, that should help a lot, because that's the I analyze motto. So then we should emotionally be analyzing whatever it is that we want to do. So for our sacred space, it's important to do that. This includes doing spell work, by the way. This includes doing spell work, especially when it comes to reacting to the ancestor generational part. If you're dreaming bigger, because this is a very spiritual card as well, and this is like connecting to, I always saw this, sometimes I see it as a 7 deadly sins, sometimes I see it as a chakras. There's different ways to see the 7 of cups, because their energies are emotional and how they kind of transmute into something else. So there's a need to address things, but coming from a pure emotional place, dreaming up a better world, including one in a spiritual realm where you are spiritually more connected, without feeling the restrictions that are around you. Like, you need to break the stubbornness that gotta stop. That's one. For our solar plexus, we have the 4 of Swords, the Tower, and the 2 of Wands in the blockage. So what this is saying is that since you've been a lot of you guys have been very depressed. A lot of you guys have not been. The 4 of Swords can be in a couple of things, but in this part of the reading, in the blockage, we're taking it as is worse, which is a lot of you have been very depressed, very distant from people. This Pisces season has been a very kind of gloomy downtime. It's been downtime, but like in the worst way. Like, you're not really trying to go out. You're really not trying to just hang with your friends. You're just really not trying to do anything. There's just nothing happening here. And this type of disconnect is like about to get crushed by the universe, because the Towers, that's Uranus energy. So it's just like, hey, that's cute that you want to lay here all day, but you have stuff coming up that you know it's coming up, that you know you've been contemplating on, you know the stuff is coming up. So it's like you've been trying to block the universe by using all the Pisces energy to really not kind of do what you needed to do. But now, like, that Aries is coming through. No, not today. Not today, Satan. Best ways to heal out this week. Yes, we did get Justice in reverse. So we have the Knight of Swords and Justice both in reverse. So there's a need to not be so aggressive, especially with yourself, especially mentally. But with Justice, it's just saying to really process that karma, and this is why this is coming up that way. There's a need to accept something that has been karmic, something that has been just needing to happen the way it's happened. It doesn't feel good because it's been happening that way, but it's the way it's supposed to end up. There's no way for you to change the outcome of this. It's a lesson, and if you don't process it as a lesson, it's just gonna continue to wound you. But it's just gonna, and this is why Pisces season is very dangerous, because I told y'all before, Pisces is one of the highest in the suicide rate list. So y'all need to stop. It's top 3. Same way, and I said it with Capricorn too. Capricorn season, a lot of people get depressed during that time, especially if you don't have purpose. Okay, so this situation right here, this is just like, there's no other way for it to be what it is. This is like destiny. Like, this was supposed to happen the way it happened, and there ain't nothing you can do or say to change it at this point. It's just about processing it mentally. And this is also about not using the Knight of Swords energy, because that can be very aggressive in a negative way. It's about being a little bit more gentle, and actually trying to weigh the scales, especially during this moon, weighing the scales, because you're going to see that justice like really come in, that balance to be asked of you really harshly. Like, hey, you're going to Aries season, you're going to feel that, oh man, I feel so like bad on this side of my life, but this is, I guess, going okay, and there's certain things that are, I guess, starting to move, and then you're going to feel like, why am I still carrying this weight? And that's kind of the problem. You need to kind of be gentle with yourself mentally, and not kind of beat yourself up with your words, with your thoughts. That's not something that's going to help you this week. So be gentle, but accept the karma, accept the lesson, accept the truth, process it, and if it's not balancing you out, then you need to accept that that's why it's not balancing you out. It's not meant to be your life. If it's not bringing you balance and peace and love, it's just not meant to be in your life. For the heart chakra, we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Six of Pentacles, and the Devil. So this is very Capricorn energy. There is something very karmic happening to the heart chakra this week, and this has been going on for a couple of lifetimes. I can see that there's just like, especially because Saturn came up in reverse in the healing, but there is something that has happened that needed to happen the way it happened. That sounded very confusing, but you know what I'm saying. It needed to happen the way it happened because in a past lifetime it wasn't right, either to you or the other person. It wasn't right, and so it's getting rectified in this lifetime. It's basically getting healed by the way it's happened, if that makes any sense. So there's a deep karma that's being dealt here to both parties, but this has to be, it's because something was not fair. It was ill intent. You guys could be dealing with someone who like maybe killed you in a past life, abused you, raped you, killed your lover, whatever it was that really traumatized you. It left an imprint on, so much so that it had to manifest in the physical realm in order for it to get healed in this lifetime. So there is something that's very karmic with the Capricorn card. This is very karmic, and this was just, it was something that was so wrong on a moral human level, that needed to just come back and just be like, hey, this wasn't right, and the universe was like, hey, this wasn't right, but we needed to kind of heal this for you, and you'll appreciate it a little bit later on in your life. Maybe you won't appreciate it so much now, but it was necessary. It's necessary for this to get balanced out because it wasn't right. So even if it happened and manifested in this lifetime in a form of a lover, in a form of like, if you found out that your lover killed you in a past life, or and if you need an Akashic Records reading, you can always book one with me on my website. But if you find out your lover killed you in a past life, or and that's why you guys have been having so many issues because it was just that type of karma, or if you found out a family member killed you, or like someone, you know, sexually assaulted you or something like in a past life, it was just something so against the spirit, the body, in the physical realm. It was something against the body. So there's something that has to do a lot with death and sexuality. So you could have gotten killed for being gay in a past life. Whatever it was not fair, and it's getting dealt in this lifetime. And you have to accept that for what it is. And I feel like some of you guys just need to do an Akashic Records, like getting that past life reading, so you can actually know what it is and why it's been stagnant, because you'll see that come up in the reading without you even having to ask. Like, it'll just come up and be like, hey, this is the past life that's coming up for me, and I'm getting wrecked by the universe. So there's a need to really process the truth, the core, the essence of why it's still there, like why it's bothering you, why it's still following you, because ultimately that's what it's been doing. It's been following you up until you needed to heal this, and you really need to heal this like right now. Best way to heal that this week, you have the World in reverse, so you know that's Saturn, and then we have the King of Cups, and the King of Cups is asking you to leave Pisces season like a boss, an emotional, stable boss, and the only way you're gonna do that is if you heal, if you allow yourself to heal. And the King of Cups knows very well what he needs to do to heal and process and emotionally flow the way that you're supposed to emotionally flow, not by being confused, not by being frustrated or anything like that, just by letting things just go the way they're supposed to. And that's what the energy is. It's just like Saturn's like, hey, you know, this needed to happen, this is why it's in reverse. Like the lesson's not done until you accept it, accept your power, accept your emotional state, accept the truth of it. on a spiritual level, on a physical level, on a mental level, on an emotional level. There's a need to do that in order for it to be completely done and shut as a chapter in your life. Saturn also hinting that this was a lesson from past. So with the heart space, is really important to just, I would say, be gentle with yourself, but accept the dark side of and the Scorpio moon's gonna do that too. It's gonna bring up a lot of stuff. I can see it. But there's just a need to accept the darker components of what like life looks like, because I feel like we dream up the best of things sometimes, but we forget shit happens, and those darker components can have a heavier impact on you when you don't give them the opportunity to be processed properly, than the lighter stuff in life. And you'll find yourself being drained by the darker aspects than being enjoying the lighter aspects. And that's why, because you're not processing the darker aspects. You're not even taking the time to look at them or look at yourself or look at the situation as a whole the way you should. So there just a lot of inner work, shadow work to do. Some of y'all need to definitely do some work with Oya this week. And some ancestor work. I can definitely see that. For the throat chakra, we have the 9 of Pentacles and the Ace of Swords in the throat chakra in the blockage. This is the card of the throat chakra. So with this week, I feel like the throat chakra every week has just been like, say what you need to say, but y'all just don't want to say what you need to say. And but the other problem is that this is a lack of self-worth, and some of y'all know y'all boss ass people, but then y'all don't want to say it. Like there's like a, I don't want to call it a humbling, because it's almost like you're tearing yourself up on the physical self. Some people are not, are kind of literally mentally breaking themselves apart with their bodies, with their, how they look, how they feel about themselves, self-love, all that stuff, like all those components. If you do love yourself, all of these things, there's kind of a taking that sword and just chopping yourself away type of energy, and it doesn't necessarily, this is just not the best way to use the throat chakra. Like you should not be self-harming yourself, because this is literally self-harming. These 2 of the best cards in this deck in the blockage, self-harming. So there's a need to address how you speak about yourself. What are you setting, the intentions you're setting for yourself? Because even saying, oh my god, I look like shit today, you're gonna probably feel like shit the rest of the day, or probably the rest of the week. I mean, you're gonna end up stuck looking at other people. You're gonna, whatever it is nitpicking at you, you're gonna end up overblowing it out of proportion for no reason, because all because you're using your throat chakra wrong. Because instead of understanding and processing why you love yourself as a person, you're just chopping yourself away like it's okay, like it's gonna make you feel any better. At the end of the day, this is your body and you're gonna be in it for the rest of your life. So how does it make sense to literally mentally break yourself down so much so that you like the words you speak are just toxic, completely utterly toxic at this point. Right. Okay, so the best way to heal that this week, we have 2. We have the star, we have the moon. So this right here, when I saw this, I was like, yo, this message is crazy. Okay, so with the star card, because you know the star card has to do with wishes and destiny specifically. There's a card of Aquarius, there's a card of Pisces. With the star card specifically, this is asking you to look at your life in a bigger picture, because again, like I just said, you are going to be in this body for the rest of your life. So what is the point of not loving your vessel? Like all you can do is try to make it better. It's like if you were given a ship when you were 15, and that's a ship you were gonna have for the rest of your life, and you could travel anywhere across time and space and do all of the things. Like, do you think the Doctor from Doctor Who like spends his time bitching and whining about the TARDIS? No, he makes improvements and he makes sure it's up to date as the years goes on. That's why the TARDIS changes. For my nerds out there, because yeah, I know I'm a Ravenclaw, I'm a full nerd, and I love Doctor Who, but this is kind of the reason. Like even one of the jokes in the show is that, oh, the TARDIS kind of got stuck looking like a police box, because there's like a mechanism that got stuck, and it just ended up just staying a police box for forever. And it was to a point where he was like, yeah, I could fix it, but I kind of love it now. And it's just like, yeah, love your ship, love your goddamn vessel, because it's taking you everywhere that you need to go, everywhere. So find a way to understand your destiny, the destiny part of why you're meant to be the way you're meant to be, why you are in this vessel, how this vessel is supposed to help you, what you can do to support it, and really looking at, because the moon is hinting at the secrets, the inner truth of how it is that you feel about yourself, and why you're saying all these things about yourself, why you're thinking all these things, because Taurus season is coming. If y'all gonna be depressed in Taurus season, y'all is crazy, because that's just like Taurus season. Any Venus is just, and Venus is gonna be in Pisces, y'all crazy, y'all crazy, y'all crazy. No, Chile, no. No, like it's really, and this is why a lot of people, you have to look at your placements, especially if you have Venus in retrograde, or you have a really difficult Venus placement, or it falls in a weird house and you're just like super, like, especially if it's on the 12th house or something like that. There's a lot of different placements that can kind of cause you to self-judge yourself to the bone, especially with depending on the signs and things like that. There's just so many different things that can come up where you just feel like shit about yourself, in the physical, on the physical, emotionally, like on every level, and you just kind of just hate who you are. But there's kind of a reason why, and at the end of the day, it comes down to this: like, you were still born this way. You were still the star child, that was born in this vessel, and there's a reason why you're in it, and there's a reason why you need to actively act on having a deep relationship with yourself, where you can be honest with yourself about what the truth is, but you can also look in the mirror and be like, yes, I am that bitch. Like, and the moon is in Leo right now, so I'm vibing with those words. At this point, y'all know I'm a Leo rising, so I'll be extra. But it's actually hard for me to kind of shit on myself. That Leo placement, it's hard for me to be like, oh my god, I look so bad. Like yesterday, I was like, oh my god. I went out to my girlfriend's friend's brunch, like lunch thing. It was amazing. Dinner thing. It was amazing, and literally I changed like 4 times or 3 times because I was just like, oh my god, I look so bad, I don't know what to wear, oh my god. And then I ended up wearing a dress, and once I did my makeup, I was like, okay, I feel better. And then I was like, okay, wait, I look hot right now. But I don't need to say it out loud for me to be like, and I don't also need other people to tell me that I look hot either, because ultimately I love my body. I mean, there's certain times where I've had beef with my body. I remember, oh my god, this story, I'm still laughing about this, but this one time, when I was in high school and I was dating my boyfriend at the time, he asked me, he was like, because I've never been a safe self-hate type of person, but like at the time, like he asked me like, oh, what, do you hate anything about your body, like anything about yourself or whatever, and I was like, I don't know if I really like my stretch marks, because I don't know, I just kind of feel like they look weird sometimes, so I don't know, maybe that, just kind of like brushing it off, because ultimately it wasn't going to, mind you, I'm saying this knowing that to some people, that type of thing is just like, they look at it and they feel like shit about it and all these things, but to me at the time it was just like, I'm not big on self-hate. So he like looked at me and he's like, what, your stretch marks? And I was like, yeah, I mean, I guess like they're kind of annoying, and like everybody says use coconut, whatever it's called, cocoa butter, and it's like, it doesn't really work, you have to use it consistently, and it's like, who has the time to be doing it? Like, it was just like, and he was like, he looked at me, he was like, oh, I love your stretch marks, this is like one of my favorite things about you. And I was like, why? And he goes, because it's like your body's so, oh, wait, let me say this properly, so hold on. He said, no, okay, so he was like, I love it because it's almost like your body can't contain itself, that's why it stretches. And I was like, that was like some amount of swag in there. And I'm a Gemini moon, so I like to be intellectually stimulated, so that was just like, you got that one right there. You got it. So ever since then, I was just like, okay, I don't really care about, I love my stretch bars, because that was like a cool moment for me where it was just like, oh, that's a different way to see it. So yeah, that was kind of like one of the moments that I can remember where I was just like, about my body. But it wasn't even like that. But I know that there's people that really, really hound themselves about it. And it's kind of just like a constant shit show where you're just shitting on yourself all the time. And that definitely doesn't feel good. So there's just a need to kind of look at, okay, wait, why though? Why do you look like this? And especially if you're like a very indigenous looking person and you just kind of hate your skin, that needs to be addressed. Because there's a reason why you look like your ancestors. And like for me, I look like my mom. But a lot of people can't tell where I'm from. Like, I'm Dominican, but a lot of people like be like, oh, a lot of people think I'm Brazilian. A lot of people. And white people all the time think that I'm like German for some reason. I'm like, where? Where? Matt? Okay. Where? I actually have no German in me. I have a little bit. I think I have like, what, 0.8% British. So that's like the part of me that loves Doctor Who, Jane Austen, and Harry Potter. But yeah, I mean, obviously, I'm sure I didn't get it the proper way. But yeah, I got a little bit of that. I have a couple of like European, mostly it's Iberian from Spain. My whole entire ancestry is like really beautiful. I'm like from everywhere. I have a little bit of everything. And it's just really nice because I get to kind of see myself in different kind of, you know, like I can make up so many different stories just from looking at my ancestry. So it's pretty cool. But this right here, and this is what I'm talking about. It's like there's a reason, like if you're very indigenous looking, you don't look like everybody else and you kind of feel really different. Like that's actually a good thing that you don't look like everybody else. People who look like everybody else are forgettable. Yes, I said that. Yes, I said that. And yes, there are gonna always be people that are kind of forgettable because they've made their spirit be forgettable. They've made themselves be forgettable. It's kind of how like I've always felt like when I would be on the train. I'd be on the train sometimes and I would just kind of look around and I would just be like, it always freaks me out when nobody was listening to music, because I was just like, what are you thinking about? I know what I'm thinking about, but what are you thinking about? Just staring at the floor. And I just felt like some people lacked a personality, lacked purpose, lacked anything. They were just trapped in this 9-to-5 routine, and it was just super horrible looking. Like I was just like, oh my god, this is torture. And I felt like I could just kind of see through the bullshit, and it was really annoying for me because I didn't know what to do with that. I was just like, am I just weird? Am I just a weird person? I guess, I don't know. But that's kind of when this comes in, because yeah, I know my Venus is in Aquarius, so this is pretty much my Venus card. But this kind of like looking at it in a different perspective. Like at the time I was just questioning the hell out of it. I'm like, wait, why am I so weird? Why am I different? Why? Because that's how Aquariuses are. Why am I different? Why, you know, am I so separated from the collective that I can be a different type of a person? And it's about that. This is about that. This is about accepting your differences and the truth, and the moon hinting that Pisces energy. It's like hinting like, hey, this is who you are, and there's a reason why you are this. It's important for you to represent yourself. Like, even if you are indigenous looking, but you don't necessarily connect with the culture too well, or you're not well versed in it, still accepting it to some degree and still trying to connect to it. Maybe that would help you understand who you are better and love yourself better, and knowing your background, maybe that can actually help you logically process that. But there's a need to just look at who you are, where you come from, why you are born this way, why you are who you are, why that makes you different, why that makes you beautiful, why that makes you unique, why your experiences are more interesting than like most, you can say. So some of you verbally need to practice self-care, self-love this week. And that can be by easy as repeating affirmations obnoxiously to my people in the back who want to be annoying, and then saying ashe at the end of it. Okay, I do that all the time. Especially when I'm cooking, I just go to YouTube and put an affirmation. I like the I am affirmation. It's one of my favorite ones. And I'll just be like, ah shit, ah shit, ah shit. Cause yeah, it's just fun. The chef where I went to Grenada, the last time I went to Grenada, he every time he would be cooking, he would have like an affirmation playing for like 2 hours, and I would just be like, ah shit, ah shit, ah shit. I'm telling you, sometimes that's my Leo rising that keeps me like super happy and jolly all the time, but sometimes you just need to let the sunlight in. Sometimes it doesn't feel pleasant, but it's necessary. Some people are meant to shine in the dark. I see you, Scorpio risings, but some of y'all need to stop it. Okay, so for the third eye, I was blocking the third eye. We have the Five of Swords, the Page of Pentacles in the reverse, and the Hermit. And what this is hinting is at a departure, but it's not a proper one, because you're not actually taking time to process with the situation, what you've learned, what you've seen properly. You've gotten the downloads about something, but you haven't processed it. There's just a lack here of connecting. So there is a disconnect here, where it's almost like you are hermiting, but you're not doing the hermit thing properly. Like, this is like Virgo not done correctly. So that's what's happening here with this Five of Swords. So with the third eye chakra, it's important to do this because basically the healing is the Three of Swords, hello, Elegua, and the King of Swords. Sorry, the Three of Wands and the King of Swords. So there's a lot of Elegua energy, like mercurial energy for the third eye, because there are messages that are coming through, but in order for you to get them, and you need to like accept the flow of it. Like, your third eye is very it needs to be able to just be allowed to be open. Like, you need to be able to not block it, not be stubborn, because then you need to be able to just see sometimes, and connect, and ask to be connected, and just remain open to it, because it's kind of like you just walking around with your eyes closed, and neither of them are walking around with their eyes closed. They're looking somewhere, they're looking at a direction, and you need to, with your third eye, really say, okay, you know what, I've been told this is coming, I've gotten the cards, whatever it is, like, I know this is coming, this has been like, the universe is pushing me in the direction, I know where I'm going. You know where you're going, you're not lost, you're just headed there. So it's just about processing that, like, instead of it being like, process it properly, do the thing so you can move forward feeling like in alignment. Now for the crown chakra, we have the Nine of Wands, the Seven of Swords, and the Page of Wands in the blockage, and that's because y'all be trying. I mean, this is pretty much what we've been talking about this whole time, but that's the thing. That Page of Wands, that journey, you know, you've been trying to block your own journey for a hot minute. It's just not working anymore. It's just not working anymore. Best way to heal it this week is the Ten of Cups and the Hierophant, which is that Taurus energy. And you're going to see a lot of success going into it if you actually, especially once you get into Taurus season, once you allow yourself to want this, which is the Ten of Cups. This is emotional bliss, happily ever after, satisfaction. But what does it look like? You have to define it. You have to say, okay, well, in this lifetime for me, this is what it looks like. And don't feel bad for adding things to it. There are 10 cups in here. So what do you want to fill in those 10 cups? What do you want it to look like? What do you want your stability to look like? What do you want your love to look like? What do you want? How do you want to feel? How do you want to? And yes, these are all, every time I ask you guys these questions, these are things that you guys should be journaling or writing or answering to yourselves. What do you want to what do you want to ground yourself in? There's a need to really answer that question, like, hey, I just want to be happy. Maybe that's just what you want. Maybe you just want to feel good about your body. It's this card, the card of Taurus, no? Maybe you just want to feel loved. Maybe you just want your happily ever after, like you're with someone, you have the job, whatever it is. Maybe, but how are you going to get there? How is it that you're going to look at yourself? There's a lot of self-reflecting and self-mastery going on this week, I feel like, for a lot of you. But the universe is, it's moving. There's stuff that's gonna be shifted this week. Some of y'all might not like it because y'all been holding on, but it's about that time. At this point in time, it's just about that time. So I'm gonna pull a card from the Sacred Symbols Oracle deck, and let's see what comes up. I love this deck. This deck is ridiculously accurate. I'm just always like, okay. Okay, message for this week. Message for this week. Message for this week. Like 3 cards that keep trying to jump out, and I'm just like, this is for this week. I swear, if the Karma card comes out, I'm just gonna be mad. This is for this. Okay, bottom of the deck, Divine Feminine, Shadow. Is that throat chakra stuff that we were talking about? Very Oya energy. But that's definitely, like, a lot of y'all need to practice self-care. I need to stop talking shit about yourselves. We have Stormy and Transformation. Both of these are very much Oya energies, very Scorpionic energies, very Scorpio energy, Pluto energy. So some of you guys need to definitely, after, I feel like this full moon in Libra is going to show y'all some stuff, and then once the moon moves into Scorpio, it's just going to keep unraveling. So you're going to get pushed into that Phoenix transformation phase by it being so cosmically, like, some people are going to have a hard week. I'm just going to say it from now. But it's going to push you to do something different and change. So just accept it. Okay? I will see you guys in the next video. Don't forget to subscribe. Bye.